Good evening, forecaster Mark Spencer from Ohio News and Weather with your evening forecast for January 19th, 2026. And you'll remember it as a cold one. That first shot of cold air is here. We have single-digit temperatures out there in many locations, and wind chills are already well below zero. We'll look at our current conditions in just a moment. We'll have brutal wind chills for Tuesday morning as well. They'll be right around, or maybe even a little bit worse, where some of them are at right now. And this is just the first shot. We're tracking more snow and, yes, more cold air as well. You'll see some of that on our 5-day forecast and a little bit on some long-range stuff here in just a moment. On our live storm track radar, it's pretty quiet right now. There are some clearing skies out there, and with the nice, clear, cold temperatures, be some good viewing for some northern lights tonight. And as of when we recorded this video here shortly after 7 p.m., there were some reports of northern lights across portions of Ohio. So if you want to brave the elements, bundle up. Don't spend forever out there. And if you're away from some city lights, go look to the north. You may see some. Also, good conditions for light pillars as well. Only thing we're really tracking here is a little bit of snow up in far northeastern Ashtabula County, right along the shoreline. There is a band of snow that's just off the shoreline. You can see it here as it gets to the south side of Buffalo. This here is kind of just wavering on and offshore a little bit. A couple reports there of an inch or two of snow. But other than that, much of that is offshore, and that will come to an end overnight tonight. Even seeing some lake effect snow off Lake Michigan into the Detroit area as well. All right, those temperatures out there, they are chilly, folks. Single digits for the northern half of Ohio, really the northern 2/3 almost. 7 Cleveland and Youngstown, 6 in Akron, 3 Mansfield and Lima are our cold spots. 6 in Toledo, 5 in Defiance. We're at 9 Dayton and Columbus, 11 in Zanesville, 18 in Cincinnati, 14 Chillicothe, 26 in Ironton's our warm spot right now. When you factor in the wind out there, ooh, man, I'm cold just looking at this graphic, guys. It is so cold. -13 is what it feels like. Cleveland, Akron, Mansfield, -14 in Lima, -11 in Toledo. We're at -8 Dayton and Columbus, -5 in Zanesville, 6 in Cincinnati, and 16 in Ironton. It is cold out there. If you're heading out this evening, please bundle up. Don't spend too long outside if you're able to. If you need to be outside for a bit, get inside a little bit and warm up, because this is where hypothermia and frostbite start to set in relatively quickly. So you don't want to be out there forever. Because of all that, there is a cold weather advisory in effect for the entire state of Ohio. This generally goes through about late morning to about noontime on Tuesday, kind of depending on where you're at. And you're going, well, what's a cold weather advisory? That doesn't make any sense. So a couple years ago, the Weather Service decided they wanted to consolidate some of their winter weather and cold weather products. So this is kind of what morphed out of the extreme cold warning and a wind chill advisory, wind chill warning, that type of stuff. Some of that still exists, but this generally replaced the wind chill advisory. So now we issue it for low temperatures and or low wind chills as well. It does vary by location, but that's what this is. So if you're headed out again, bundle up. All right, let's take a look Wednesday into Thursday on our future radar. We're going to see snow move in early Wednesday morning through the day Wednesday. We're going to see Wednesday night maybe some snow squalls redevelop as a secondary front comes in. Not a whole lot of snow with the system. An inch, maybe 2 right now is what it looks like. Stay with us for the latest. Could see a little bit more snow moving, at least across northwestern Ohio, late Wednesday into early Thursday. There's a chance for some snow showers on Thursday, but right now much of that is very low. Actually, I've left it pretty much out of our 5-day right now. But generally, that could produce a quick inch, maybe 2 in a couple spots, and we just got to watch those snow squalls in the evening, right around sunset, right there, about 6, 7 o'clock, move across the state into early Thursday morning. And speaking of temperatures, we'll put this through late next week. This is going to change quite a bit. It's really going to depend on where things set up. But these are some brutally cold temperatures. These are temperatures, negative teens. What you're seeing here is single digits. When we start getting into that white, we're below 0 there. And we just don't really get out of it. We're going to see a little brief hint of, oh, there's kind of a warm-up coming. There's kind of a warm-up coming, 32, 35. Nope, here comes the cold air again by the end of the month. That's January 29th where that ended, by the way. And we do look to see another shot of cold air right around the end of the month right now. Now, it kind of just depends on where things move and where they set up as to exactly how cold we get and how far south that cold air gets. That's also going to be a driver for things like winter storms. You're hearing some rumbles about one this weekend. Yep, there is something brewing. Where it moves, don't know. Could stay well south. Could come a little bit further north across the Tennessee Valley. That would get snow in at least the southern part of the state. But these are things we're going to have to monitor. The further south the cold air comes, or the stronger the cold air is, the further south that storm is going to stay. That storm is not going to fight that cold air. It's going to stay south. Just keep that in mind. All right, now let's look even further ahead and look at our upper air anomalies from the European model. This takes us actually through February. And we saw our shot of cold air. We get a little reprieve and some warmth, and then we get cold air building back in about mid-February. And it's going to stay with us, guys, through much of February, maybe even into the beginning of March. We don't get much of a break here. There's our current cold air shot. It's going to stick around here through the weekend. It'll move out, and then we'll get a little bit of that warmth perhaps. So not much, but the cold air is going to build back in, and it's just going to stick with us until we get something else moving up in the northern Atlantic, the Arctic, or even the eastern Pacific. It's going to stay with us. Hey, sorry about that. Let's go to the tonight forecast here. Okay, clearing skies, cold temperatures, and these may even be negative numbers a little bit, so they might be a little bit too warm across northern Ohio. Across the southern part of the state, I think that's going to be about right. We'll call it high single digits with mainly clear skies. Wind chills will range -5, maybe a little bit worse than that across the southern part of the state, -15, although there'll be some spots that will do better than -15 across the northern part of the state by Tuesday morning. Again, if you're heading out, bundle up. All right, for your day on Tuesday, our daily forecast brought to you by Canopy Management. Not a very warm day, but we'll see plenty of sun actually, believe it or not. So it'll look really nice out there, but it's going to be really, really cold. Low to mid-teens across much of northern Ohio. We'll call it upper teens, low 20s, and maybe some mid-20s across far southern Ohio. But we'll see plenty of sun and some very cold temperatures. Wind chills will still be very cold, especially in the morning. And actually across northeastern Ohio, those wind chills may not get above 0. All right, so what are we looking at weather-wise for the next 5 days in your neighborhood? Let's take a look at our 5-day forecasts.